Hi guys, my name is Sam. I'm a detailing enthusiast and founder of The Source Garage. Today I'm going to be showing you how to detail your wheels to perfection and make maintaining them one of the easiest parts of your detailing routine. Make sure to stay tuned through the entire video as I go through the entire process step by step. Also, I just wanted to mention, Torque Detail is offering 15% off on all the products used in this video. Make sure you check the links in the description and use the code YouTube to take advantage of this promotion. To start with, when it comes to detailing your wheels, let's go over what you're up against and why it's so important to protect them. With the wheels being the closest part of your vehicle to the ground and stirring up most things on the road, your wheels take a lot of beating and can get a wide variety of contaminants on them, ranging from the usual dirt and road grime, like oils and other fluids that can leak from vehicles, to tar and brake dust, which can be more difficult to remove as it embeds into your wheel's clear coat. Certain vehicles can be more prone to excessive brake dust depending upon brake pads that you use and your driving style. If you're noticing your wheels browning quickly with brake dust, you may want to consider changing the brake pads that you're using that generate less brake dust possibly. Lastly, you're going to be trying to scrub off all the brown stuff on your tire, which is bloom that naturally occurs in all tires due to anti-ozonate, which helps prevent your tires from rotting and cracking caused by the sun, ozone, and road grime. We're going to turn your tires from brown to a nice black. To get all the contaminants off of your wheel, we're going to be using a variety of chemicals combined with a little bit of elbow grease and the proper tools. Then once everything's been cleaned, it's important to protect your rims because of everything we just went over. With proper protection in the form of a wax, sealant, or coating, these contaminants will not embed themselves into your wheel's clear coat and will wash off much more easily when you do maintenance washes, so you don't have to go through this deep clean we're about to do. So let's go over everything that we're going to be using now. You're going to of course need some source of water. A pressure washer is preferred to help blast things off, but a hose will work fine as well. As for chemicals, we'll be using a very wide range of chemicals, starting with a dedicated wheel cleaner. A dedicated wheel cleaner is a bit more aggressive than a normal body soap and will help get those tougher contaminants off. A general body shampoo, like Torque Decon soap, to help keep our cleaning tools lubricated. This is important because rims are typically clear coated similar to paint, and we don't want to scratch them if we can help it. A tar remover to help remove, you guessed it, tar. An iron remover will help remove brake dust. A clay kit with lube and a synthetic clay bar, like in the Torque clay kit here. Mineral spirits to help prepare the tire for dressing. And a tire dressing to make our tires look nice and black. We'll be using Torque High Gloss Tire Shine Spray. Prior to applying our protection, we'll also do a final surface prep with some paint prep solution or an IPA mix. And lastly, Torque Ceramic Shine, for protection to keep your freshly clean wheels looking their best. For tools to detail your wheel with, there's a wide variety of tools out there that you could possibly use, and you may want to change up the tools you use depending upon your wheel type and what you have access to. For this job though, these are the tools that I've decided to go with. A wheel detailing brush and microfiber brush to get into the barrels, a boar's hair brush and at last a detail brush to get into the nooks and crannies, a stiff bristle tire brush for scrubbing the tire, a microfiber wash mitt for general scrubbing and to help get the backs of the spokes, a Metrovac blower to help dry everything off initially, and some Torque microfiber towels for the final touches. If you're taking the wheels off the car like I'll be doing, you'll also want to have a clay bar to go with your clay lubricant that I mentioned before. If you're doing the optional step of polishing, you'll need tools such as a dual action polisher and pads and compounds and polishes. Another great optional tool is a foam sprayer, which you can put your cleaning chemicals in to foam up and spray on the wheel to get better surface coverage and cling. This will really help break down contaminants. You're also going to want a bucket for your Decon soap water. I like to use a transparent bucket like this pure detailing bucket so I can see all the contaminants as I remove them. Lastly, if you really want to step up your wheel detailing experience and make it as easy and efficient as possible, you should get a wheel detailing stand. I've got two here in front of me. This is the CycloShine 3.0 Wheel Detailing Stand Fixed Frame Edition, and this is the Spinning Base Edition. The fixed frame design here uses a patent-pending 3-roller design so that you can safely work on your wheels with complete access to all nooks and crannies without fear of your wheels falling over and damaging your rims. There's also the Spinning Base variant that you would use after washing your wheels on the fixed frame, which is more of a benchtop model and allows you to freely rotate the tire around to get to both sides for coating, polishing, and in-depth cleaning. So with all the prep covered, let's get to it. So for this demonstration, I'm going to be taking the wheels off of the car to do a complete deep clean and the most thorough protection possible. But the process remains largely the same if you leave the wheels on your car, minus the clay barring and polishing steps if you don't want to do those. To start with, I'm going to get the car on my lift so I can remove the wheels. If you're at home, you'll have to use some kind of jack, so please refer to your owner's manual on proper lifting points and technique if you want to remove the wheels. Once the wheel's off the car, I'm going to put it on my CycloShine wheel detailing stand and roll it out to where I'm going to do the washing. To start with, I'm going to be filling my tool bucket up with Torque Decon soap, as I mentioned before, to help keep my tools lubricated to help with the cleaning process. Once I have everything in position, we're going to start by pressure washing the wheel off to remove as much loose contaminants as we can. Again, these steps will be the same if the wheel is still on your car, you just won't have as much access to all sides of the wheel. After washing off all we can with just water, it's time to use our dedicated wheel cleaner, which I've put in a foamer here. We're just going to start by coating the entire wheel. The first thing I'm going to be scrubbing is the tire while I let the chemicals go to work on everything inside the wheel. To do that, I'm going to use my stiff bristled brush and just work my way around the wheel. Remember, we're trying to scrub off all this brown bloom, and it may take multiple passes. Once you are done with the tire, we can move on to the rims. To start with, I'm going to show you how you would do this with your wheels on the car, since the wheel is facing me like that now. I'd recommend starting with your wheel brush and microfiber brush to get at the barrel thoroughly and scrub all the way around. This is where contaminant buildup is typically at its worst, and again may require a few passes to get it thoroughly cleaned. Also use these brushes to help get at your calipers and back of the rim if your wheel is on your car. Squeeze them into the nooks and crannies as best you can. One thing to mention is that if your wheels are extremely dirty, you may want to clean off your tools as you work. Use a soapy water bucket to rinse off your tools or a pressure washer to blow them out. Next, I'm going to use the boar's hair brush and at last a detailing brush to get in all the tight spots in the lug nut holes all around the face of the wheel. Lastly, I'll use my mitt to scrub everything once over again. And the great thing about mitts like this is if your wheel has smaller spokes, you can stick your hand through and get the back of the rim, even if it's not off your car. Then once everything is scrubbed, we'll simply rinse the wheel off. So this is what it looks like after our first scrub. Pretty clean. But since I'm going to be doing a more long-term coating on this wheel, I want to get it perfect. Since I have this handy wheel stand here, I'm going to pick up the wheel and turn it around so I can have better access to the barrel for cleaning. So what you are likely to find in the barrel after your first scrub is there are black spots or mounds or brown spots left over. Here's an example from another wheel where it is easier to see the tar and iron buildup on a silver rim rather than a black one. The black spots are most likely tar and the brown spots are iron, both of which we'll use our dedicated cleaners for. To start with, I'm going to hit everything with our tar remover and let it soak for just a minute, then come back and scrub everything off. This can take multiple passes if there's lots of buildup. Here's what some of these spots and the removal looks like on an easier to see rim. Then just rinse away. To deal with the iron, we're going to use our dedicated iron remover. The iron remover works by using a variety of chemicals, but the main iron removing component is generally a thioglycolic acid. This, along with other chemicals, helps to oxidize the iron and break it free from the rim's clear coat so it can be washed off. The red and purple color you see is the thioglycolate that is formed from the iron and acid, which can be washed away after it sits for a minute. Here's another example from another rim. All the purple is the iron being removed. And finally, rinse everything off. Now generally, if your wheels are on your car, you would at this point dry the wheel off and apply some kind of spray-on coating or wax to the wheel everywhere you can reach. Spray-on rinse-off coatings are great because they can cover the barrels a lot better when the wheels are still on your car because you don't have to physically reach them. However, for this case, we're going to be using a more permanent ceramic spray and want to get everything ready for optimal bonding, so now we're going to clay the wheel. To clay the wheel, we're just going to use Torque's Clay Decon Kit. Just spray the lube on and scrub away with a synthetic pad. This is referred to as mechanical decontamination because we're physically scrubbing the surface to remove any last really stuck on contaminants, rather than just letting chemicals break things down. Hopefully by this point though, there really shouldn't be much left on here that we don't want. Just be sure to keep plenty of lubrication on the surface as you're working. Once we're done with that, we can rinse off the wheel. I've mostly shown the barrel of the wheel here for these later steps, but the same should be done to the face as well, following the same process to get everything as clean as possible before applying protection. Not every wheel will need as thorough a cleaning process done to it, depending upon how new or old your wheel is and the level of contamination on it. Now we can use our Metrovac to do an initial blow dry and use some Torque microfiber towels to finish drying off anything left. Then we'll roll the wheel inside and get it up on the bench. Now we have our perfectly clean wheel. It's important to take a moment and marvel at your work, because by now I bet your shoulder and back are pretty sore after doing this to 4 wheels, and you're wondering who the heck would ever do this. Well, you would, so at the next Cars and Coffee you can judge everyone who has brake dust covered barrels or big clumps of tar that ruin their otherwise great look. You'll be thanking yourself come next maintenance wash when cleaning your wheels takes 5 minutes instead of 5 hours to get them looking great. Anyway, now we're an optional step of polishing. Polishing and compounding is a whole other can of worms that I will not be deep diving into here. But if you do have some lightly scratched or marred wheels, now would be the ideal time to polish them to perfection before applying a coating. Once you're done polishing, if you've decided to do so, now it's time to protect and dress the wheels to perfection. First, we're going to do a quick wipe down with our IPA paint prep solution to ensure our surface is absolutely free of any residue for optimal bonding. Be very liberal with your spray when wiping down the wheels. We need to make sure absolutely nothing is left on here to inhibit the coating's ability to bond with the wheel. Then I'm going to be prepping the face of the tire with some mineral spirits. Simply put the mineral spirits on a towel and scrub the tire to make sure absolutely everything is removed from the surface. Then to start the protection, I'm going to be using Torque Ceramic Shine with a Torque microfiber to apply this form of protection. It's about as easy as it gets to apply. Simply spray on, buff off, and let it cure. That's it. It's recommended to let this coating cure for 3 hours before wetting it and a day or 2 before rubbing on it. So no off-roading the day after you do this. And lastly, wait a week before washing it, which should be no problem given the thorough cleaning we've just done here. Next, we're going to dress the tire with Torque High Gloss Tire Shine Spray. Simply spray on the tire or your applicator and rub in until it reaches your desired gloss level. Look at how nice and new these tires look now, straight off the showroom floor. One thing I'd like to call out before we put the wheels back on is I'd highly recommend deep cleaning your brake calipers and wheel wells while you have them off, since it'll be much better to access everything in there while the wheels are off. Now you have like new wheels that'll be easier to maintain and better looking going forward. Since you have a great coating on them, all that contaminants that we just cleaned off, the brake dust, tar, dirt, and grime, will have a much harder time sticking to your wheels. And when you do your next maintenance wash, all you have to do is use the same shampoo that you would use on the rest of your car, possibly Torque Ceramic Car Shampoo, and a little bit of light scrubbing, and it should make them look as good as now, and you'll be thankful for all the hard work you put in. Last step is to simply put the wheels back on, and torque the lug nuts appropriately. That's it, guys. Thank you to everyone watching this video, and if you enjoyed learning about this whole process today, be sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in any of the recommended products I showed in the video, make sure you check the links in the description below and use the code YouTube for 15% off for the promotion. And if you have any questions, leave those in the comments below the video as well. Thanks for watching.